Hey YouTube, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're heading back to New Horizons to take a closer look at the player houses. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. So first of all, I hope you all had an awesome Christmas and managed to spend some quality time with your family and friends. Be sure to tell us all what you got up to over the holidays in the comments and whether or not you got to play any new Animal Crossing games over the last few days. Anyway, Animal Crossing has always been about moving out and exploring the world, finding your own way, and of course, loaning money off this dude in order to buy a house. Now, Animal Crossing New Horizons works in much the same way, except when we first arrive to the island, Tom Nook will give us a tent that we can go and pitch anywhere we like. At this stage, we don't really know if this will be the permanent position of our house, or if we can move it later on in the game, so it's always best to pick wisely. Anyway, just like in past games, moving to somewhere new isn't cheap, so it will cost us 49,800 bells, which is actually the most it's ever cost to move to a new Animal Crossing town and more expensive than buying the first house in New Leaf, but at least we get a free Nook phone this time around. Now there doesn't appear to be any restrictions on where we can place our tent, as we've even seen a bunch of gameplay where it's been pitched on the beach of the New Horizons island, which is really cool and a first for any Animal Crossing game. I get a feeling a lot of people will opt for the beach just because we can. We've also seen a couple of examples of the players' tents being pitched very close to the river, and whilst that may not seem unusual, we have to remember how painstakingly tedious it was to let Isabelle place our tents when rivers and rocks were close by in New Leaf. So the good news is it seems that buildings can be placed right next to permanent features like rivers, which again is a first for any Animal Crossing game. This is most likely a result of being able to place furniture items inside and outside on half squares, which is a huge quality of life improvement. Unfortunately, depending on the map of the island you choose, there may be some areas that are out of bounds at the very beginning of the game. For example, when the players started their game on this island, they had no choice but to position their tent somewhere in the lower centre part of the island. This is because at the beginning of the game there are no bridges and no apparent way to jump over rivers until you obtain the vaulting pole tool. So at least for the first player on the island, there could be a few locations like the edges of the island or up on higher levels where you're unable to place your tent. With that said, we don't know yet if we can move it later on in the game, and this is just temporary. After all, it is only a tent, not a concrete building, so I like to think moving it is a possibility. Anyway, if you're enjoying island life, crafting endless campfires and log stalls, you may decide you enjoy living in a tent and be perfectly happy to carry on that way, and that's absolutely fine. Actually, there's no reason you have to pay off your debt to Nook if you don't want to, and you can decide to live in a tent forever if you so wish. But for those who prefer to pay back Nook for his generosity, we can of course upgrade our tent and exchange it for a house. So far we've only seen what looks to be the first house expansion, which will likely be the same size as the tent just like in previous games. As you can see, the house looks a lot like the older houses we've seen in past games, taking huge inspiration from the original, which I absolutely love. In terms of customization, we don't really know a great deal just yet, but it looks like we can choose which side we want our mailbox on, which is really neat, as well as the obvious door decorations. Another cool feature of the player's house appears to be the bushes either side. It looks like they're part of the actual house design, but they do change with the seasons like other bushes and trees around the island. But don't worry if you're not a fan, I'm sure this is a feature that we'll be able to customize more and more the further we get into the game. So yeah, there's still lots to find out about this game, and we've barely seen any details about actual buildings in New Horizons, so it's going to be super exciting when new information finally drops. Anyway, for now, that pretty much wraps up this video. If you're an Animal Crossing fan, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any New Horizons news. Until then, I'd like to give a special thank you to this channel's Patreon supporters. You guys rock. Don't forget to head over to our Discord server too, and of course if you got this far in the video, please comment house, just to let me know you did. That would be super awesome, and please be sure to include where you'd like to position your house, and if you like the idea of being able to move the tent in the future. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and found it entertaining. Please be sure to leave a like if you did. Thanks for watching, I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.